Mixed Media Madness. I kept wanting to say March Madness. I'm Lisa with Lisa Boone Designs, and I'm excited to be here today. I'm doing 30 Days of Lives, as many of you know, and I have been doing something different every day. Obviously, there's some things that we're probably going to do multiple times and just different projects, but everything is going to be different. It's so much fun to be able to sit here and play with you. I've been having really a ball. And you know, as you know, if you've been following me, I created this prayer journal, and I'm asking everyone to please send me in any prayer requests and then update me with any praise reports. It's been super fun. I love connecting with everyone. And today we're going to be playing with mixed media, obviously, and we're gonna have fun. I'm using decoupage papers, I have napkins, I have papers, I have stencils, I have to be a masterpiece, but it's going to be fun. And that is the key, right? To have fun, for us to explore, to play, and to have that freedom that it's okay. Everything doesn't have to be a masterpiece, right? Everything just has to be explorative and fun and exciting. So I even have some pattern paper. I haven't pulled that out in a while. I love using pattern paper, but Miss Christy Sloan is the host of this event, of My Artful Adventures, and she loves color. She loves all things bright and, you know, colorful and springy, and she does a couple of events inside of the Crafty Bunch. So if you're watching me on my page, please join the Crafty Bunch. The link is in the description, and then you could just refresh. And there's only one more person that's coming on, I believe, and after me, but you could go back and watch the previous one. So she says I'm in the group, which is amazing. Thank you so much, Miss Christy. I'm so glad that you invited me to this event, and I'm glad that it's mixed media. I love mixed media. I mean, what's not to love, right? So these are brand new rice papers. I did a live yesterday and I showcased them. These are from Decoupage Queen. I love her papers. They're so beautiful. This one is called Dainty and the Queen Sketches. There's several Dainty and the Queen. I had them over there, so I can't reach them, the ones that I decided to keep to play with. So I decided to play with this one. I love these fashionable ladies. They're so elegant and poised, and just, I love the couture. Like, I just love the way that they dressed, and it has some fonts. There's a dragonfly there. There's some text, there's stamps, scrolls, some florals, obviously some flowers here, some florals right there. And this is actually really, really subtle, but this gives us room to play, because this becomes a neutral background that we could change and do all kinds of things. So what I started doing before the live is I started tearing out the edges. So all of the decoupage papers come with this white border, and you can cut them with the scissors if you want to. That's perfectly fine. I saved the bottom so I'd remember the name, but I'm just going to use one of my brushes dipped in water. You can use a, you know, one of those brushes that already have the water in it. This is how you tear your napkins, your decoupage papers, when you want nice, beautiful, I say like riggedy, like, you know, but it's an organic edge where, see, it's torn. And that allows the papers to just blend in wherever you want them. I am going to go ahead and put a line right here. I'm going to start that there because I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I'm just going to tear this, and it's a little bit harder to tear the rice papers. It's not as easy as the napkins. I'm going to go around this flower as if I can. I may have to do it this way. There's a lot happening in this rice paper. It's thicker than what you think, but what I like about decoupaging with it is that it's very, very forgiving. It's so easy to decoupage with rice papers. I have a bunch of them on my website, so if you want to follow and love it, if you would, you can click on my Linktree link and it takes you to all the things. So that makes it just so much easier because I have a lot of different links on there, and then you can just, you know, follow everybody, and because it really, it helps us so much when you do follow. So I'm going to cut out this floral arrangement as well. I'm not sure how I'm going to use it, if I'm going to use it, but we're going to just cut it out so this way it's ready to go. So what I want to do first, a lot of times when I do these mixed media pieces, I decoupage papers onto my page first. So I am actually using watercolor paper, which I don't typically start off with watercolor paper. I think I'm going to leave that leaf there on the girl. So I think I'm going to do that. So we may use her. I have this one is the other one. So now you can see what she looks like. And I have see that dragonfly? I want to put a butterfly. So I've got a butterfly stamp and I have another stencil. So we're just going to see. I saw these girls, and every day during my 30 days of lives, because I'm doing 30 days of lives, I am incorporating scripture into my projects. And they're so poised and so confident. And I was thinking about the fruit of the Spirit, Ephesians 5:22. And so I ripped that out. Does it say Ephesians? I meant Galatians. Where is it? Did I rip out the wrong one? I think I did. Let me look at my Bible. I've got it here. Oh wait, this is the page? That's so funny. Let me see. This is that one. Galatians 5. I did rip out the right one. Oh, but it confused me. I can't see that well. It said Ephesians on the top because it starts there. We're going to take that out because it's Galatians 5:22, the fruit of the Spirit. I was like, what did I do? I am going to cut out this edge right there because I don't like edges. And you might not see this when we're done. You might see it when we're done. I don't know, but I know it's there. And that's how we're going to start off. Another way that you can start off with mixed media is by writing in it. Like if you have a prayer request or something's going on that's worrying you, you want to cast it all out and, you know, and this is I thought this was appropriate. This hymnal page. On the back it says Holy Spirit faithful guide, and then on the front it says oh breath of life, and then on the bottom the Holy Spirit Lord alone. So I just thought it was perfect for, you know, the fruit of the Spirit, because it's through the Holy Spirit that you have the fruit of the Spirit. So I just thought how appropriate, and I'm just gonna cut these up and we're going to see where we put them. We might put them everywhere. We might just put a couple. So I always like to take the edges off, like I said. So I'm just ripping those out. This way I have them here if I want to use them. And the rice papers are thin enough that we will be able to see some of that come through. And then on top, we're going to use some watercolor and some acrylics. I don't have a plan. And I've been watching, I started saying this yesterday. I've been watching, no, the day before, this lady. And I love watching her, Denise Love on YouTube. And she talks about how she doesn't have an intention when she first starts. Like she has an idea of the color she's going to use, but she doesn't pre-plan it. And I've never pre-planned. I usually just do it on the fly and see what comes naturally. And she was talking about how when you do it that way, then you're not disappointed. Like you're like, oh, okay, well, it didn't turn out the way that I wanted, and then you get disappointed. But she's like, when you just go ahead and go after it and just do whatever, you're like, oh, okay, this is where I got. It might be perfect, it might not be perfect. You know, you may have to work at it a little bit longer or more, maybe revisit it, stop, go back to it. Like sometimes that happens, and that's perfectly okay. Like, mixed media should be super fun. It shouldn't be stressful. It shouldn't be anything other than just play. You know, I'm using some matte fluid medium Liquitex brand, and it takes a little bit longer to dry, but that's okay. So I'm just putting in my sheet music here, and at some point I'm gonna put my thingamabob. I'm just gonna layer these like this. Usually when I do mixed media, I literally cover the entire piece. Hey Carol, I cover the entire piece with paper, but I don't think that I want to do that. I think I just want to have it sporadic. I do have my heat gun, excuse me, and we will, try to hurry this along. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Let me know what you're doing today, man. I'm going to tell you what, it is hot today here in Kentucky. I'm in Western Kentucky, and it's been so wild because a couple weeks ago we had a winter storm, and there was ice and there was flooding everywhere, and they're calling for a tornado, heavy winds, possible tornado on, I'm going to put my scripture, I'm going to put it right here on the bottom, on Saturday. But it's like a beautiful spring day. It's insane. Like, what in the world is going on? Like, crazy. But I'm enjoying it, but I rushed because I opened the store where I'm at. I retail, I think I want to go this way. Retail paints and Iron Orchid Design and the decoupage papers, all this in this local store. It's an antique store, and I opened the store on Wednesdays, and so anyway, it was absolutely beautiful, but we closed at 4, and I had to hightail it over here, and I knew it would be tight. I closed a few minutes early just so that I could get this ready, because my plan last night after my live was to get this ready. Guess what I didn't do? I cleaned off my area, but I got nothing ready, nothing, no. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I knew it would come to me. I think I wanna put some of these, the pattern, because we're talking about these ladies. I may do on top as well. I like it when I have numbers. I think I'm gonna, hold on. I put my thing in water, my brush, because whenever you're using any kind of top coat or sealer, you definitely want to get your brush covered up. And I want some wrinkles. I do have some napkins as well. I'm using watercolor paper, because normally I use something like harder, canvas or something, but I really just wanted, I need another piece of this. I like these lines. I wonder if I should do it this way. I think I want to do it this way, and then I may add another one going the other way later. Let's just see where we're at. And my paper's curling up. It's perfectly fine. If it bothers you once you're completely done with everything, then all you have to do is iron it. It's perfectly fine. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this with the heat gun. I was trying not to get the matte fluid medium near the tape, but what I'm probably will do is cut this with the ruler. I like the deckled edge. I like that organic edge, and then I like to use some inks or something like to darken it up. I originally really intended to do this in my journal book, but I knew that I wanted a lot of layering, and I could have glued a whole bunch of papers together. It's a mixed media journal book, but I really like playing with the watercolor paper. So I thought, well, we'll just do this. I'm gonna go ahead and as soon as I'm done with this, add some gesso, and then we're gonna, it doesn't have to be a perfect masterpiece, and it could be something that you work on, and then sometimes you have to step away, hey Estella, and then you go back to it and you play with it, and maybe you add some stuff. sometimes I like to take a picture of it or look at it on the screen. Of course, I haven't been able to hook up my camera to do this, what I think is properly. Facebook has not been kind to me with this. I've been struggling. I did the live sale yesterday and I was surprised that I was able to get through it because I used my third party, because it hooks up right to my website. It makes it so much easier. Like, they're not my friend when they don't let me do it that way. So I'm gonna put some gesso on here, and that's just gonna allow me to paint over it, but it's also going, I'm gonna use, I have these new brushes that I literally just opened up. I don't know that I really want to put gesso on this one, maybe not. Okay, so this one I used when I dyed my fabric. It's got DIY paint on it, but see what I love about DIY paint, you see that? It comes right off. It does not ruin your brush because there's not a sealer in there. So we may get a little bit of pink tint. That's okay. So I'm just going to apply the gesso all over. And what that's gonna do is push back the browns. It's gonna push back some of the text and all the things that I have going on here. And then in some areas, I'm gonna add a lot because I want it to be whiter maybe. And I love the wrinkles there. We're gonna, let's say capitalize, but I guess capitalize on it. So I just want the gesso all over. Like I said, I could have done this on my mixed media papers since I am doing it this way. But I like the texture of the watercolor paper. But if something is too thin, you can glue it and layer it, you know, glue those pages together so that it's thicker. Hey, Linda. I know someone's watching on YouTube, but I'm sorry, I can't see the name. Hello, welcome to Lisa Boone Designs. I'm glad that you're here with me today. I'm glad you all are here with me today. Thank you. I hope you've been enjoying the event today. The events in the Crafty Bunch are always so much fun. So I host a monthly event the first Sunday of every month called Christ and Crafty. And I'm trying to get it together for April 6th. That's the next one. But don't, you know, every day this month I'll be live on my page. I'd love to have you on there joining me. If you do too much heat, you can get your papers to pull up a little bit, which this, but you can always iron it and get it flat again. I saw a recipe for making your own clear gesso. I like clear gesso too. I've never made it myself, but I have seen some recipes. Happy Wednesday, Brenda. It's a great group. It is a great group. Okay, so I think I want to add some color first before I go any further. And I am going to use my big fat brush. I got some new watercolor brushes. And I have a pencil. I got some new ones because, you know, I was being precious with my brushes and then I wasn't, and then I get upset when they get messed up. So I got these 2 packs and some new pencils to do some mark making and stuff like that. So I'm gonna wet my brush. I pre-wet my palette. So I got this from my friend Carmen in Colorado. She made this, and I wish I could have got the bigger set. I really wanted the complete set. Like, there were some that were this big, and so I was thinking about, you know, Christy, and like I said, she likes a lot of color. So I don't know how I feel about all of the color, but we're gonna play. So I'm gonna lay this down. I do like color, but most of the time, you know, I just want what you call it, I like neutrals too. I like to paint furniture with a lot of color, that's for sure. I do, and I've been using a lot of this green. I think I want some of this green. Just want to lay it down. You'll be able to see it. And we may paint over the rice paper, because I was talking about that last night. Like, just because decoupage paper is a certain color does not mean that you cannot paint it. This is just a little like pearly color. But I have some metallic watercolor paper, and we are definitely going to be using that as well. I'm just trying to lay, my gesso is getting wet, and so I'm fighting with the gesso because it wasn't really dry anyway, but plus I'm wetting it. That's okay. That's okay. So we're just plopping down some color, going over my scripture. Adding some more water there. And, you know, I feel like the gesso is definitely making it more watered down. But we're going to be, this is just one layer. Just one layer. Let me see, what color is that? I have a piece of wax paper right here. And I'm looking for, there's a specific color. I don't want this blue. Let me add a little bit of this. I want to, there we go. I love mixing, so I wanted a purple. I wanted a purple color. There we go. We're not looking for a masterpiece. We are playing. And that is always the goal. Like, play with your supplies and practice creativity daily. Do you do that? Let me know. I love seeing all the different things people like to do with their mixed media projects. I have to go back. I saw Brenda, I believe, a little bit. I was at the store, so it was really hard for me to see. I actually brought home a cigar box that's really messed up. I have it over there. And I was going to decoupage it and maybe add some molds and stamps. And then I was like, you know, after like a long day, I really like to just throw paint on the paper. I love decoupaging on stuff too. But I thought, I think I'm going to go back to decoupaging and layering my pieces. It's so much fun. And a lot of times I'm using more paint, so you actually don't see like actual DIY paint. Hey Sue, how are you? I'm using actual DIY paint, and so I really cover up, or you know, you can use acrylic too, cover up that background. But I'm gonna add acrylic on top. Once we get our girl on there and the flowers, I think, then we can figure out what we want to do. And I do have some modeling paste too, so I thought maybe a little bit of raised stencil, not too much, because this is paper. If it was wood, it would be a little bit easier. And just in case, if it gets too crazy, I've got my plies of napkins. So I showed you guys this the other day when I was live, and we chose the other napkin, so I still have this one that we can cut up and add to it. That's why I wanted those purple colors underneath and the greens, because we might add this. Again, Christy loves color, and this is her event, so we're gonna play with it. I think I want to use this one girl, and I think I want her here instead of using this one. I'll save this one for another project. I don't know what, but we're gonna save her. So I think I want her here. And do I want to add this? I think I'm gonna save this as well. So we're gonna save this. And I think I'm gonna decoupage her, like I said, here. So we've got some of those colors, and it should come through. So we're gonna just look at it. Yeah, I think so. Isn't she pretty? Take a good look. So pretty, right? So you can use whatever decoupage medium you like. Whenever I'm doing mixed media on paper, I usually use this matte, fluid matte medium. If I'm decoupaging, and I can with DIY Paints Liquid Patina. I've done it before. As long as the papers are not too thick. I think I'm gonna come in a little bit because I am gonna cut up. I don't want it centered though. I want it off center, but I don't want it too close to the edge. So I'm gonna just tilt her. There we go. So now I'm gonna get her down. And so see how I'm going from the middle out? And I've got that underneath. So sandwiching her inside. And that rice paper, I mean, you can do those faux rice papers. They're so much fun. I've done that before. But this is high quality. This paper is actually made in Italy, I believe. Definitely in Europe. There's another, yeah, I'm pretty sure. And it's high quality. It's so good. I mean, she's got the large ones too that you can do on furniture. See, and some of that pinky is coming through. Do you see it? All right, let's heat that up and see where we're at. Because when it's wet, it could be a little bit deceiving. 5:25. I'm not used to having an hour. I love having an hour, especially when I'm doing 30 days of lives. Like I've been used to just doing stuff. I'm not watching the time, so I need to watch the time when I'm in the Crafty Bunch. And we usually do 45 minutes. So thank you, Christy, for the hour. I was actually going to do an hour in my event last month, and then I didn't. But actually going forward, I like the hour better. Thank you for the hearts. Sweet. I want to make sure that is down. I may have to use this to wipe it. Okay. She's Foxy. Hey, Lisa, how are you? I know you were on earlier. I didn't get to watch, so I'm going to have to go back because I was at the store. So what I'm going to do is I want to go ahead and get a little bit of my napkin, a little bit of these florals. And again, this is a 3-ply napkin. I have these available, but I haven't posted them yet. I need to because these are really pretty. I think I want to get a couple more before I do it. So I'm going to just cut this out and see how easy it is to cut out. Much easier than the rice paper, but I mean the rice paper is not, it's not difficult, but it is much easier with the napkin because it's so thin. So it's just gonna tear exactly where I put the line, see? And I don't like the edges even on the napkins. I think I'm gonna just come in and just cut a little bit. The napkins truly bleed into your piece, and if I add any gesso, you can make it bleed even further. Yeah, I figured we'd need an hour for the mixed media. I'm glad. I am so glad. I think so, because sometimes, you know, we're rushing. So I think I'm gonna put the flowers here. I'm gonna take this. Did I just put that? Where did I put that? Oh, I don't want that in there. What did I do with that brush that I just had in my hand? I do this all the time. I guess I'll just use, I just don't know what I did with it. I'm gonna cut this on the bottom. I can use this little piece on top somewhere, but I want the flowers to overlap here and then just kind of up here, right? Okay, that's what we're gonna do. So here's, I've showed this before. Let me do it this way. I'm gonna put this here. We're gonna be able to see the flowers underneath, and there's some hymnal paper there. And then remember there was 2 little branches there. We'll be able to see that. this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put some, well, let me just put it here. Sometimes I put it offloaded, but I have so much stuff here. So I'm gonna start in the middle and I'm gonna work my way out. The napkins are so thin that you could put your decoupage medium on the bottom like I did with the rice paper, but I figure I don't have to waste the extra product because the napkins are so thin that it just absorbs all the way through. And you can do this on here. And I don't necessarily want it perfectly, you know, I want the wrinkles because I want it to look old and textured. Is the lady a napkin? Thank you, Linda, for asking. This lady is decoupage paper. I just tore up this paper. It's called, what did I say? Dainty and the Queen sketches. They're available on my website. I sold a couple, so I'm not sure if I have any left, but I absolutely love this. If I can get more, I'm going to try to get more of these. And there were some others that I need to get more of. I know a lot of them started selling out quick. I need to jump on there and try to get more. I'm going to put this on top because I like to repeat. You know, we want to repeat it. And see, we've got those pinky colors. We've got the yellows, we've got the green. And it's bothering me that there's a straight line there, but I'm gonna let it go, let it go, let it go. All right, so I think I like threes. I like doing things in threes. So I feel like I need a medium-sized flower. So I think I'm gonna do right here, right there. I'm just gonna cut this on the neck. I love using napkins for decoupaging all kinds of things. I had paint on some of my Converse. They were black, and I decoupaged my Converse, and it worked. I think I'm gonna do this up here. Oh, look, it was perfect because it goes around her. It's like a crown. All right, I think that'll work. So I'm just going to apply this. And I use a soft hand, you know, because I don't want to tear the napkin, but if you do tear it, like, it's so fixable. First of all, the napkin is, you know, you can move it around, but it is fragile. You want to be careful with this. Thank you, Brenda. You want to be careful. I can't see the name on Facebook. I'm so sorry, but I know it starts with a J. Hello, welcome. I mean, YouTube. So you want to be, you know, a little precious with it, but not to the point where you're going to worry about it, but just use a soft hand. You can always, if you want it really, really super straight, you can use like something plastic and you can lay it down. You could put your decoupage medium first. You could also put your napkin on plastic, apply your decoupage, and kind of spritz it with a little bit of water so it sticks. There's all kinds of tricks. I don't necessarily care. I want the texture because we're going to be adding more texture. We're not done. So I think I'm going to hit this with the heat gun. So again, my philosophy is, I know I want to use certain things or certain colors, but I just don't play. I don't like pre-plan. I just play. Now, when I'm doing the fabrics and the quilts, bet your bottom dollar I'm auditioning and trying to figure it out, like, so that I have a plan, because it's not something that I normally do, so I'm not going to do it on the fly. But whether I'm painting furniture or mixed media or like junk journaling, I just kind of do it and have fun. I have to think more with the fabric and the sewing, but I'm learning, you know. But I want to encourage you, like, this isn't sewing. Like, it's fixable. Like, I mean, not that sewing isn't, but this is completely fixable. I have decoupaged on tennis shoes several times, Carol said. So many compliments on them. I know, right? Handbags, all kinds of things. I have some canvas little bags that I thought we would do this month if I can fit it in, because I'm doing something different every month. So I thought that would be cool. Linda said Barb from the Shabby Tree has decoupage canvas shoes. The Shabby Tree, yeah, I hadn't seen her in a long time. I forgot about her. I used to watch her a little bit. I don't watch a lot of people anymore. It's so hard to do that. It really is. I think I want one of these on top again. I think I had, because I can't see my thing. I think maybe when it dries a little bit better, but I think I want, yeah, I want this where it says fabric. I think that'd be really cool. So I'm just cutting this. And sometimes if something is too loud and I want to tone it down, I've used this brown paper before, pattern paper, or like I've said before, I'll use my other plies of napkins to push it back, or gesso or acrylic paint, or just watered down like DIY paint is perfect for that. So I think I want this, I think I want it over here. I may put another one down here. I think so. I think this is not thin enough. Let me do this here. Like, we need something there, but there's mark making. I have all of this stuff. We're gonna have stencils. So I just feel like this needs a little bit. We're gonna put some extra here. And my brush is really wet, so it's like extra, extra. Extra, extra, read all about it. So obviously that's really out there. We're gonna have to tone that down. We're gonna tone that down a little bit. But I needed something there. I needed something there. I don't know why, but I just did. And I like this, the simplicity with the number. Hey, baby. My kitty, one of them, the other day, Nova came up to us while we were doing stuff. Now it's Essie Lou, my baby girl. Nova's my daughter's. She's under me. All right. You know what I think I want to do? I want to push that back a little bit with the napkin, I think. And this is all about layers. It's all about layers. Young man, single and free. Are you singing with me? Do you hear? What is it, baby? So we're gonna push back this a little bit, which is really cool. But I had enough on here that I knew that I could get this. See, it's just like pushed back just enough. And I love, I'm actually gonna leave the corners here. On the second ply of tissue paper, I actually like using the corners because they're usually quilted. And so that gives you a little bit more texture. So if you wanted to do this with just shapes, like obviously we have a lady here, but like if you wanted to do this with shape, this would make a great master board that you could cut up. But you could still cut this up and let this be a tag, and then use the remaining pieces for different things in your journal. So that's something to think about. Like, this is a great way to, when you just play, especially if it's something that maybe you're not fond of, that you don't like, and you just think that doesn't look good. Yeah, you are singing with me. Consider getting the decollete ruler, or just a regular ruler, or just cutting it with the paper cutter, the trimmer, and creating postcards or the circle punch, creating, you know, different shapes that you could collage with. And that is a great way to use your mixed media pieces. And then you learn from it. You figure out what you like, what you don't like. So 5:38. I know my husband's gonna come home because I bet you he doesn't remember that I'm going live and the dogs will bark. So if that happens, I'm very, very sorry. Like, forgive me in advance. All right, and I want to add some stencil because I want to tone all of this down just a little bit, because when you have so many aspects and layers, I like to add a little bit of gesso. Let me do that first, and then I'm going to add some stencil. I'm going to add a little bit of gesso. I'm going to put this here on my waxed paper, just a little bit, and I'm gonna take off some of my water because I don't necessarily want a lot of water, but see how I'm working out the edges and it just like brings it all together, and then I'm lightly like dry brushing, so then all of those wrinkles kind of come to life a little bit. And I'm just gonna go around all of the edges of the napkin so it looks like, you know how when you see like brick, exposed brick, and then you see like the layers of plaster, and then you see like wallpaper. That is kind of what I like to do. I like to see like what came first. Like, was it the florals? What came first? The texture, you know. I love like those old walls that are like that. I had managed a store and I was getting ready to do that. I had some plaster. One of my creative friends, she made her own plaster, and I bought some from her, and I was going to do that on the back wall as a staging wall, but then we ended up closing the store. But one day I will do that. Thank you for the heart. Y'all are just so sweet. I appreciate that so much. All right, so now we're tying it in. So we need some stencil. I have some of the same stencils that I used the other day, and I have that stamp. I thought about putting in the butterfly, but I'm thinking now that butterfly, it might be a little bit too big for this. If I had one of the smaller ones, I thought I grabbed a small one, but now that I'm looking, I don't think it's, unless I do it half off. We'll see. Let's see what we can do. Ooh. All right, I'm trying to rush this along. So I have all of these stencils. Like, that would make a good, I have a whole bunch of these. I need to find them all because those make lovely, I've used them with the Distress Oxide, but they work really, really well with raised stenciling. So this one, I used it the other day. It's got some Distress Oxide in there, but like having some scribbles. So I'm just gonna look at that. That might work well. This is the one that we used, remember, with white wax the other day. If you didn't watch that, I showed how you can do stenciling with clear and white wax, and that came out really good. I brought that to the store today. I've got a bumblebee. So this, let's see. I wanted to add a bumblebee. Oh, that's, I was like, what did I use this for? I did this one the other, oh, here's a bumblebee. Let's see. I don't know if I want this one. That one is too big. I don't want a bumblebee now. I'm looking at it. I wanted to add some acrylic too. We need to get, all right, let me look. I'm wondering if we don't just add like this vine. You know what? No, I'm gonna do this one right here. And I'm probably gonna do that one. But this one, I'm gonna do a little bit of modeling paste. I've never done modeling paste on paper, I don't think. let's see. Let's see. Oh, the stencils are available on my website. Uh-oh. This is going to be hard. Oh my gosh. Oh, here we go. Contaminated, but I'm still going to use it. You know? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? All right, so I'm going to go like this. And, you know, it is a little bit wet and it's bumpy. So let's see what we can do. I just want a little bit of it because I want there to be some texture, some real texture, not just the appearance of texture. And so I'm gonna do another one right here. I'm gonna do it half. Half, half, half. I usually do this, like I said, on wood. We're experimenting. We're living la vida loca, okay? We're like wilding out here. Have you ever wilded out? Looks like you got some of Mara stencils. Yes, I am a retailer for Mara LaFay. Sheila, what? How are you? How you doing? Yes, so I have this one is not Mara's. It's another one, but I think I still have these available on my website. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. All right, so before I go any further, I hate to use my napkins to wipe. Here we go. To wipe my stuff, I like to use my napkins for crafting, not cleaning. So what I typically do, I have this piece of paper here. Let me move these stencils really quick. I do have my stamp too because I wanted to add some text. I usually clean off when I use modeling paste. I usually do, like I said, on wood, but I clean my thing on another project because what happens is the residue from, you still have enough. I don't know if you can see that, but it's on here. So then that gives me the ability to start with some texture. I'm going to put this over here. So don't ever put that in the sink. That modeling paste is not something that you, or any kind of texture paste you don't want in the sink because it hardens and it could mess up your pipes. Working by the seat of your pantalones. Yes, girl, that's exactly right. By the seat of my pantalones. That's right. That's funny. And you could leave the modeling paste white, you know, but then you could add like a glaze and go over it, or some watercolor. I do have some shimmer watercolor. And guys, if I don't finish this, we have 15 minutes left, less than. I have 2 different times on my iPad and my laptop. So I'm gonna go with the 5:47 time instead of 5:45. So I can finish this tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow, but I can finish it tomorrow. If you want to join me, because I will be live tomorrow. Like I said, I'm live every day. And if you're just joining in the fun, make sure that you're on the Crafty Bunch and you are liking all of the things, because there's some amazing people in the Crafty Bunch and we have really amazing projects, and every day there's something new. There's something going on. I showed you guys how I've been stenciling with this, right? This is what we're going to use to stencil this. I want this little swirl down here. I just feel like it's going to make it make sense. Kind of going to go off. I have tape down here. And I'm going to go kind of off I like the texture of it. So this is what I'm gonna do. I have, see, these are my metallic watercolors that we're gonna add to this. Is this the one that I had? I kind of like this version. Ooh, I like this one. So I'm gonna use this side and do this. So I'm gonna use this to stencil. I'm gonna put my palette knife in there, and I'm gonna put this in my water. So I have just a cup of water so that my things don't get messed up. And I want some acrylic, but I think I'm gonna do Payne's Gray. I think I'm gonna, instead of doing another bright color, I think I'm gonna do Payne's Gray, just a little bit. This is the Liquitex Payne's Gray. I love this color. I'm gonna use my brush, and let's see if this worked as well as it did the other day. We may tone this down if it's too much, but I feel like this color is going to pick up on some of the flowers and then tone it down a little bit. We're gonna add some black. I always like adding black to everything, and I don't want to necessarily cover the entire stencil, but like most of it. Have you guys been on this bandwagon using these makeup brushes as a stencil? So I've used it with Distress Oxide, but I had never used it with acrylic. And oh my gosh, it is a game changer. Game changer, like for reals. It's like absolutely perfection. Like there's no bleed through. I can't even comprehend it. I want to add a little bit more. Like I want to fill this here. Maybe I should just do this way, because you know the flowers come out of nowhere, and so I kind of want to blend it in a little bit more so that it looks like, and I have to be careful because it's a little bit messed up, the stencil is. Let's see, pick it up and look. And then I'm going to do a little bit here. Did I get it? It's hard to see. Okay. I want to do the same thing. I feel like heat. I keep thinking there's heat right there, but it might be from the heat gun. And I have burnt myself on lives before. I have totally burnt myself, which is so funny. It's not funny. Like I really burnt myself pretty bad one day. I'm gonna go up here because I don't like the way that napkin did. So I'm just gonna fill in a little bit. Just, there we go. All right. And I don't know where my baby wipes are, but I'm gonna just put this brush. I might use it again. I'm gonna leave it here. But normally you should probably put it in some water. Okay, let's get this dry. I have 8 minutes. 8 minutes. I want there to be some writing. I wish I could. Michelle Bell Creation, she does awesome with hand lettering. I want to take a class. I want to learn how to hand letter. And I suggest too, like, to not make any judgments when you're doing mixed media, especially till you take the tape off. When you take the tape off, and then I like to, like I said, ink the edges, or I have some pastels or like these charcoal pencils, like darken your edges, and then it draws your eye in. Like it just does something. So I want to add some of this metallic. So I'm gonna I don't know what colors I'm gonna be doing. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Brenda. I love this. Y'all, I got this a long time ago at Five Below, and I've gone back trying to get more of them, and I couldn't find it. I'm gonna wear my brush. I love these colors. Like, they are phenomenal. Like, this brown bronzy color has that purpley kind of hue, and there's purple watercolor under there, so I think it's gonna look really good. And what I'm gonna do is blot it because I want some of the white. I don't want it to be totally, but I want there to be, I want it to sit underneath. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna add, I don't want black. Oh, you know what I love? This pinky color. Because what? Pink is my favorite color. I love pink. And so I'm just gonna kind of push this. Actually, I have my little sponge. So I want there to be some of this color over here. I really didn't intend to fill the whole thing. I wanted some white spots. Hopefully our last presenter will be live after Lisa. Uh-oh, she's having some technical difficulties, so we'll see. Okay. Hey, Christy, if I need to buy her some time and go a little bit longer, I can, until she figures it out. I know what that's like. Man, that's terrible. I want to paint her dress. That was one of the things I wanted to do. So I'm just going to give her some shimmer, like, and I'm gonna leave, you know, you're gonna see those black lines, but this is what I mean. Like, you can paint your decoupage papers. If a flower is like, you know, even with my recycled decoupage papers that I have, if it's the wrong shade, I will paint over it. Lisa, who do you say you are a retailer for? I retail DIY paint, Iron Orchid Designs, recycled decoupage papers, Decoupage Queen rice papers, Sweet Pickins milk paint, Mary LaFay stencils. All of that's on my website though, girl. You can go on my link tree. I think that's on the live. I tried to link a thing, but it's on my page. So yeah, all of those things. I'm gonna add some darker color. Like I said, I usually like to add darkness. Maybe we can go ahead and add some black. Ooh, some charcoal. Yes, girl. Darken up those edges. So it's 5:56. What's it looking like, Christy? Okay, you can stay on a bit and we'll see if she can come on. I'll let you know. Thank you, Lisa. Okay. I know what that's like. It gets so stressful. Like, I had that Christ in Crafting event, and poor, I think it was Nyla. Was it Nyla? Somebody was having issues getting on, and I was like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, it happens, and it just like rattles you a little bit, you know, because it's the most frustrating thing, because it's like, we do this all the time. Like, there shouldn't be an issue, but there's always an issue. There's always an issue. I hate it, but it makes it hard. It does make it hard. Let's see, what else do we need? I want some of this maybe here. Just kind of want it to puddle a little bit. But I want the white. I want some of the white to show, because you always want a little bit of highlights. So you want the dark and you want the white. Yeah, it was Nyla. Thank you. Yeah. Oh man, and she was so rattled, and I felt so bad. I felt so bad. It is hard to do this. It is, and it shouldn't be this hard. But I love layering. These metallics colors are so awesome. And I said I wanted to add more acrylic, but I think I don't. I might want a little bit more gesso. I have black gesso and white gesso. I think I want, not the black. I had yellow. I had all these colors. Ooh, I need to stamp. You know, this is my favorite. This one. Oh, and you know which one? Can I reach it without falling off of the other one? Do I have it on the table? I love the other stamp. I got that from my friend Mel. I like to use it a lot, and it adds such cool, oh, here we go. We'll do this. I wanted to add some text. Even though I've got text here, I like adding a lot of text. I'm gonna hit this with the dryer, and let's see where we're at. I love what you've done so much. It's just beautiful. Thank you, Sue. I did have to step away for a moment, so I will watch again. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it so much. And thank you guys for watching on YouTube. I appreciate you guys so much. Guys, follow me on all the things. I've got TikToks. I taped a few things I need to get on Reels. I'm on Instagram. On a lot of things. The composition is great. Thank you, Linda. You're such an encourager. You're awesome. See, I can see the shimmer. I love using, guys, if you can find a metallic set like this, get it. I love using it just on its own. Let me show you. I don't know if I can get to it without falling. Here we go. I just went ahead and grabbed the whole stack. Let me show you while this is settling a minute and while we're waiting on our last presenter. Look at this. These are backgrounds that I did. Can you see that? Just so that I could, I did a whole bunch so that if I want to make tags, look at this one. If I want to do, this is just solely those metallic watercolors. And then I cut them up, you know, and I've got some watercolor ones, and I'll do like different backgrounds. So this is a strip. I can sit there and use this with a collage in a journal. So here's another one, but the metallics are so awesome, and you can get so many different, and sometimes I layer it. Look at this with the green and the gold. Oh, we need gold. We need gold. I have some gold. Let's see. Thank you. I'm gonna put this here. Hopefully it doesn't topple over. Is this dry enough? It's still so damp, y'all. It's so damp. This really needs to dry. It needs to dry. I'm not gonna stamp it, but I love this stamp. This is an Iron Orchid design. It's one of the newer ones, but I love these here. Maybe you could see it better. Like the script fonts, like there's so many, and then you have these stamps. We might use one of these stamps too. I may have to, I think I want to wait for it to dry. Let me see if I can hit this, because I think I need to add just a little bit more gesso. Just a little bit more gesso where it says fabric. Yeah. I love the shimmer of her dress. Can you guys see that? Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. Can you see the shimmer? We painted over the decoupage paper. And you could, I mean, you could use acrylic and totally go over decoupage papers. Like, there's so much that you can do. So if you see something and it's not quite your cup of tea, I'm gonna add some gesso. We haven't heard from Christy yet, so we're giving our friends, this is not gesso. I have another one that's like this, that's gesso. That's okay. I'll figure out something with it. There's my husband. I knew that they would bark, but he got them to stop. Usually they continue. It's like they know who he is. Hello. He's your dad. Why are you barking like he's a stranger? All right. So let me dry this off a little bit. Oh, I almost went into that. I want to just push this back. I think it's this, there's the heat. I'm just gonna push this back just a little bit. And as you wet it, your paper's gonna wrinkle up. She got it? She got on. All right, guys. So as your paper gets wet, it's gonna wrinkle, but then when it dries, it straightens out. So don't freak out. You could always iron this paper too. Guys, go ahead and refresh your page if you're in the crafty bunch and join our next presenter for the mixed media madness. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Join me tomorrow, okay? I don't want to get painted. All right.